Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be talking about medians, altitudes, angle bisectors, and perpendicular bisectors, similar to these problems that you see up on the screen here. Just a reminder, this is the speedrun version where we go through it pretty quickly. If you want the normal version, I'll link that in the description below. For your Ricasso Recap, you should already know how to label geometric terms like line segments. You should know about angle vocabulary, how to name angles using 3 letters. And you should be familiar with congruency statements, the congruent symbol, dash marks, how to tell when angles are congruent, things like that. If you want a refresher on these topics, I'll link videos in the description below. Please go watch those before you start this lesson. All right, new lesson starts now. Here we go. 2 new words, a median and an altitude. A median goes from a corner to a midpoint. Okay, so for example, in this drawing, SU is the median because it starts in a corner and it goes to the middle, right? It cuts it in half, right? If it goes to the middle, it cuts it exactly in half. And that's what those, red dash marks tell me. It tells me this, QU is congruent to UT or TU. So they could have also put numbers there, right? If they had said this is 10 and this is 10, well, then I know that, this is a median. If it helps, think of the median in traffic, right? It's the exact middle. Now, an altitude starts from a corner, it goes to the opposite side, and it always forms a right angle. So in this drawing, TR is an altitude. Starts in a corner, goes to the opposite side, and it forms this right angle. Okay, remember that red half square means that there's a right angle here. Okay, our next 2 new words, angle bisector, perpendicular bisector. To bisect something just means to cut it exactly in half. So an angle bisector cuts an angle in half, right? Cuts a corner in half. And so in this drawing, in this figure, AC is our angle bisector because it goes from here to here and it's cutting this into 61 and 61, right? It's cutting it exactly in half. For a perpendicular bisector, all right, you can think of this as a median plus an altitude, or a median and an altitude, meaning it's going to cause a midpoint and it's going to cause a right angle. So for example, in this drawing, DF is a perpendicular bisector because, and you can see that DF has the right angle, so right angle check, and it is the midpoint, right? It's cutting this in half because of those red lines, so boom. All right, now let's put them all together in the same problem. It says, look at the diagram, and then it says, which term describes US? Well, first off, is it an angle bisector? No, because these are not equal. Is it an altitude? No, it is not. No right angles. Is it a perpendicular bisector? Again, needs a right angle? Absolutely not. And so in this case, it's none of these. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these 2 problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. For the first problem, they told you these 2 angles are congruent, which means that they're equal. And so this is an angle bisector. And for the second problem, you should have said FI or IF, I suppose. Notice the difference between these 2. How do you know it's not EG? Well, an altitude has to start from a corner. Okay? EG is not starting from a corner, it's starting from a side. So therefore, it cannot be an altitude, and thus the right answer is FI. All right, that's it for today. I hope y'all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.